Saajid Lipham, we have your book. If you ever want to see your book alive and untorn again, you will offer a serious response to the Islamic Dilemma and explain what these verses mean. You have 24 hours. Please help me, Saajid. Please help me. Do not. Shut up. 24 hours. Dawa is the art of pretending you're answering something without actually answering it. That would be the main definition of dawa.
So let's take a look at some of these verses about
finally, we're talking about the Quran in his video defending against the Islamic Dilemma. Okay, all right.
of the Quran. Alif Lam Ra tilka ayatul kitab al-mubin. Inna anzalnahu Quranan Arabiyan la'allakum taqilun. Alif Lam Ra, these are the verses of the clear book. Indeed, we have sent it down as an Arabic Quran that you might understand. And there are other verses in the Quran referring to it as being mubin. So Christians will say, well, the Quran says it's mubin. So if I read a verse and I understand it as something, then that's what it means. Otherwise, it's not clear and therefore there's a contradiction. Well, it's quite fascinating because as soon as you begin reading the Quran, you find that it mentions letters. Alif Lam Ra. And I
not clear.
Yeah, what do they mean? No, Saajid. We go to your commentaries and your scholars. We don't just sit and imagine what it means.
I'm just impressed by this rabbit trail. The Quran claims to be clear. Yeah. And what the Christians do is they assume that when it says it's clear, that the clear meaning of these verses are actually clear, not realizing they mean the opposite of what they say. But ha. Did you know that when you go to the Quran, you start finding letters? Like,
nobody knows what those mean.
Dude?
That's an L for your religion. Not for us.
It's got these letters in it, guys. Letters. So when a Christian tells you that your book says it's clear, just tell them, but the Quran has letters in it. Who knows what these mean? That's a great mystery.
So in the same verse that it says it's clear, it has those letters that no one knows what it means.
Isn't it amazing? It's got letters.
Do you think that's an L for us or you, Saajid?
It's got letters. See where he's going with this.
imagine anybody who's sincere, the first thing they're going to ask is, Alif Lam Ra, what is that? What does that mean?
Yes.
And we could spend an entire video just about that. But
and you would still have no clue what those mean because we agree, Saajid, those aren't clear. Our position is that sometimes the Quran...
It is so clear that...
Yeah, it's so clear that we could, look at these three letters. I could do an entire series of videos going through 7,000 different interpretations of what these three letters mean. See how unclear the Quran is? We know, Saajid, we know there are things that are hopelessly unclear in the Quran. We grant that. What we're saying is sometimes the Quran seems to be really, really clear. And you're saying it's not even clear in those cases, which means it's not clear at all. In which case, why is he bragging about being clear? Why? And you're still not getting it.
He'd rather go through what Alif Lam Ra mean in an hour rather than go through the Islamic Dilemma.
Yeah. I have time to talk about this, but eventually I'll talk about the Islamic Dilemma in video number 75 on this series on the Islamic Dilemma.
To immediately derive from it is that this is a divine book, and if somebody is going to benefit from it, the very first thing that they have to do is humble themselves. This is a divine, miraculous book from our Creator, from Allah.
It's miraculously unclear. I mean, think, any book that has three letters in it must be from God. That makes it clear. Guys, he just said that. Look, it says right here, it's got three letters in it. This makes it clear that this is a divine book. He just said that to your faces. This makes it clear that it's a divine book. Therefore, when these Christians are saying,
you know what? I'm gonna starting all my sentences ABC.
This proves that DoC is a divine prophet of Islam.
Just random letters that nobody has any idea what they mean. And by the way, all those commentaries they end with, and Allah knows better. Allah knows more. Only Allah knows.
You have to be sincere to understand what it means.
Yeah. That actually is when he said this other video, it was like a sincere message to. He has this thing about sincere, like only for the sincere people. Like, okay, Saajid, he's the one that's sincere, right?
Yep.
That's what that's a picture he's trying to paint.
Yeah.
And he's trying to say we're not sincere.
Yeah,
because we're pointing out what the Quran says and giving
Shame
commentaries. Yeah, well, I mean, how can we do that?
How dare we say it's clear?
So, yeah, he's the sincere
So
one.
you've got,
Oh, good.
sorry, so you've got, I'm very sincere right now. Very, very sincere. So Surah 12, verse 1. Those magical letters is only known to Allah. No one else knows it, okay? Only Allah knows it. And only way I can understand it, I need to humble myself. So what do I need to do to humble myself besides willing to open up the Quran, read it, find the tafsir regarding that verse, read it again. Still, it doesn't make sense to me because that very clear, it says clear verse. I am hearing from that is like, okay, there is no mistake on it. It is not ambiguous. It is clear, but it still doesn't, it's not clear to me. And I really don't know what are the practical things I need to do to humble myself beside starting opening up the Quran. Actually, before opening up the Quran, I need to have the mindset, I am Muslim. I am agreeing anything comes out from the lips of Saajid. What else I can do to be humble, to understand this very word of Allah that is very clear?
And I mean, think about what he means by humbling ourselves. What he really means is
929.
yeah. Yeah,
Pay the jizya first,
yeah,
then you know.
we need to pay the jizya and be humbled, feel ourselves subdued. But I mean, guys, what does he mean that humble ourselves before this book?
I don't know.
It's when we go to the Quran and we find it claiming to be clear, and we find all these verses affirming the previous scriptures, we have to humble ourselves and just go with what modern dawa guys, literally the biggest bunch of liars we ever encountered in our entire life. And I'm someone who spent years in prison. These are the biggest liars I've ever encountered in my life. Just regular dawa guys. They are the biggest bunch of liars I've ever seen. We need to humble ourselves and just listen to them, even when they contradict Allah. And when we point out that they're contradicting Allah and say, hey, what are you doing here? And they go, but what about in the Bible? All you guys do is go to these clear verses and then just ignore them based on your theology. And we say, no, that's not what we do at all. And what we're just supposed to, we got to humble ourselves and just mindlessly accept anything Saajid, the compulsive liar, says. That's what he really means there. And that's what you need to do to avoid the Islamic dilemma. Everyone watching, isn't this informing you that this is a really good argument? They have no response to it. If this is Saajid's best attempt to respond to this, it's pathetic. All right, let's go back to Saajid here. My mind is clean enough again to listen to some of this nonsense. Let's see.
Memorized and recited book in history that transforms the lives of people and has throughout history.
Yeah,
it's divine revelation where Allah is telling us our purpose.
It transforms lives. It transforms lives. It makes us like this. Makes us just say, it's got 3 letters. Let's humble ourselves before the miracle and deny everything else it says.
Life, distinguishing between truth and falsehood, informing us of the hereafter, telling us about things that happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. So for anybody to
telling us that the sun sets in a muddy pool, how could Allah know this?
Approach this book in a way that is disrespectful and arrogant.
He just said, how can anyone approach this in a way that's disrespectful? Saajid, when Allah says he's affirming the previous books and you say he doesn't know what he's talking about, a dawa guy knows what he's talking about, he knows better than Allah, you're the one approaching this disrespectfully. We are approaching the Quran more respectfully than you are. And I eat your book and I approach it more respectfully than you do. What does that tell you about you? Don't tell us to respect your book when this is how you treat it.
And condescending immediately shows that they don't understand this book and they are surely not going to benefit from it. Not with an attitude like that.
That's true.
Which honestly I find sad, but to each his own. I'm not going to be asked about you. You're not going to be asked about me. But one thing's for sure, such people are not to be trusted in talking about this book. So from the very outset, when you read these letters, one should humble themselves and understand that this book is more than meets the eye.
You just said it again. When you read these 3 letters right here, I mean, just imagine 3 letters. Just imagine 3 letters. How could a book have 3? This is the new miracle of Islam. Right before it was.
No wonder why this guy was convinced by the perfect reservation argument. Like, this is what convinces. This is what he finds.
He's impressed by 3 letters.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Hey, Jai. You be Saajid before he converted to Islam, and I'll be the dawa guy.
Okay.
Hey, Saajid, how you doing, man?
Good.
Hey, you need to convert to Islam.
Why?
Look right here. It's got 3 letters at the beginning of this chapter.
What?
Allahu Akbar.
3 letters?
Yeah. So now repeat after me. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
That's
we
exactly
go.
what he did.
That's that. We just reenacted the conversion of Saajid Lipham, ladies and gentlemen.
So you were asking Jai Apologetics to take his shahada because there are 3 letters. I was thinking, why there are 3 letters? Allah doesn't. Allah says like, do not say 3. Yet those 3 letters was good enough to convince Sajid to take his shahada. Just I see that as a miracle. He just expressed how Islam transforms people. So the brain got given to you, those brain cells like moving around and like circulating. The moment Islam comes, they take your brain out. And then I have no idea what they put it there, but your brain is not there anymore. So that's like miracle of transformation in Islam. It's so powerful. You just like think with something else, but clearly not the brain.
And that's what it means to humble yourself. You have to you have to humble yourself and look at the Quran and say it's got 3 letters there, and therefore it's the word of Allah, and therefore only believe what the dawa guys say about it, and never under any circumstances believe what Allah says. That's Sajid's takeaway message. Thank you, Saajid. You're doing a bang up job, buddy.
Going on for hours. Let's move on to Tilka Ayatul Kitab al-Mubin. What is meant by al-Mubin? Well, when we want to understand something about Islam, we should refer to the scholars, those who have dedicated their lives
Not to Allah, go to the scholars.
to studying the Quran, the authentic Sunnah, the understanding of the companions, may Allah be pleased with them. So let's see what Tafsir Ibn Kathir says about these verses. Firstly, as for Alif Lam Ra, these are called
Just to be clear, everyone, even the clear verses, even the verses where Allah claims to be clear, those are not clear. You have to go to commentaries to understand these clear verses. Everyone getting this? He just said, hey, there are verses where the Quran claims to be
But
clear.
That's okay. So even for these clear verses, he is going whom? To scholars. And the screen is like from 600 years later after death of Muhammad. So he's turning to scholar who has been dead for like how many years? How many centuries? Okay, let that go. But what did Allah say to Muhammad if Muhammad is in a doubt? Did Allah say, turn to me? No. Did Allah say, check with Gabriel? No. Did Allah say, go to the scholars? No. Who do you go to? People of the book. So why he's not going to the people of the book as his prophet's supposed to be going? But he's going to the scholars who's been dead and who lived like centuries after Muhammad. I find that's very clear. Very clear.
But when Allah says that if you're in doubt, go to the people of the book, what he means is go to Ibn Kathir. Oh, wow.
Guess what Ibn Kathir says?
What's that?
Well, he's gonna read it. He'll read. Sajid will read it. But you can.
He says Mubin means clear.
Thank you, Ibn Kathir. We have no idea.
Haruf al-Muqatta'a. And right after Surah Al-Fatiha, the first surah of the Quran, the second surah, Surah Al-Baqarah, begins with these separated letters. So right from the very outset of the Quran, you read the opener and then you deal with these letters.
We got to deal with the letters, man. We got to deal with the letters.
In these books of tafsir, when other surahs begin with these separated letters, they will say that this is explained in the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah. So
everyone understanding how this relates to the Islamic dilemma?
I don't care about the separated letters.
Yeah, very
man.
clear.
Tell me about the verses.
The letters. It's the letters.
Can you is everyone watching this? This is like embarrassingly terrible. Hey, Saajid, you guys say our book's been corrupted. Your God and your prophet say our book haven't been corrupted. Can you please explain yourself? Yeah, let me tell you about the letters. Look at the letters here. Oh my goodness, I see them. Letter. What else do you need? This solves the problem. This is what you're getting. This is what you're getting, Saajid. Right? This is what you're getting. All right.
Hey, maybe we should do a response where we just like say like random letters, and that will really impress them.
Yeah.
We're like QWY.
Yeah, that'll be enough for him.
Hey, Saajid. Hey, I don't want to go here, man. I don't want to go here. But I'm laying it down as a rule, Saajid. Hey, Saajid, I'm laying this down as a rule. Every time you make a video responding to the Islamic dilemma and you do this and don't actually respond to the Islamic dilemma, there will be repercussions on your book. You've been
Oh,
warned.
you got
You've
an
been
L
warned.
as well.
Yeah, we got an L too.
You just got an L. Saajid, that's on you, buddy. If you've been answering the Islamic Dilemma right now, we wouldn't be doing this. This is how annoying and deceptive you're being, that we're now treating you like we treat Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa. You are now in the Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa category in our minds. Right?
I'm gonna get 3 letters for him to blow his mind. Like he will walk out of the Quran and
Oh,
then
yeah,
worship
Mr.
this.
No way,
this
Hatun. There is no way you're going to be able to make
I'm building
3 letters.
I am building here.
Okay, we'll listen to a little more of
I wanna
Saajid,
give
and then
it
Hatun's going to have 3 letters for us.
Hey, I think that you guys actually might be able to like hold the Quran hostage to get him to actually make a video about the because remember that he told Muhammad Hijab off for he's like, hey, they're eating the Quran because of you, like he was saying like they're doing this because of you guys. So I think if you guys hold the Quran hostage and be like, hey Saajid, if you don't respond, the Quran's gonna get it.
All right, here we go. Saajid Lipham, we have your book. If you ever want to see your book alive and untorn again, you will offer a serious response to the Islamic Dilemma and explain what these verses mean. You have 24 hours. Please help me, Saajid. Please help me. Do not. Shut up. 24 hours. All right.
All right.
Go reference that. But let's move on to this term al-mubin. Because what a lot of these Christian apologists do is they essentially imply that this word actually means simple, which in Arabic would be basir. It's as if they think that they don't.
We never said simple.
No.
Have we ever said simple?
What did we say? Clear.
Thank you.
Have to put forth any sort of effort in understanding the Quran. But what they're doing is they're following in the footsteps of other groups that have tried to misrepresent verses of the Quran, and that they'll say a statement of truth, but they will intend falsehood by it. Because the Quran is clear, but that doesn't mean that they are incapable of misrepresenting or misunderstanding it. Tafsir Ibn Kathir says that al-mubin means al-wadih, al-jali, that the Quran is clear, it's evident. الذي يفصح عن الأشياء المبهمة, that it expresses things that are ambiguous and explains them and clarifies them. And it was
Wait, what clarifies them?
The Quran.
The Quran explains and clarifies them. That's interesting because, I mean, he literally can't quote a verse about the Quran being clear without going to Ibn Kathir to clarify the book that clarifies itself.
Why did you translate the last 2 words but never said them, man? Is it because they're too hard for you?
We're reading along with him, and for some reason he read a few words, but then he like skipped over the last 2 words.
Yeah.
But he translated them, but he didn't read them for some reason.
Yeah, it's وَيُفَسِّرُهَا وَيُبَيِّنُهَا. And he details them and he clarifies them. That's what the Quran does. So where in all that did we lie? We didn't even go to this verse or anything. The verse says the Quran is clear, and Ibn Kathir says, yes, it's clear. Clear means detailing things and making them obvious. You don't say.
This is seriously, I mean, amazing. He's making entire videos that are saying basically nothing that responds to this issue. And it's just, it's his response is meant for stupid people. It's meant for people who are just going, oh, him saying words. Our book has letters. Letters mean that our book from God. Him saying stuff means he speak truth. We got 3 letters now?
Okay, we got an L.
Yeah.
H.
We got an H.
This is H. It doesn't look like H, but I can't. If Quran is not doing art, that's not my fault. That
does look like an H.
Yeah, it looks like an H.
That's supposed to be R. Alif.
Oh, that's an R.
Lam, Ram. That's R. And that's the L.
There you go, Saajid.
Yes,
3 letters, Saajid, and this is your proof that Hatun is a prophet, according to you. According to your brilliant reasoning, this proves that Hatun speaks the truth from God.
I can take them to McDonald's and then get the muta with them, or Misyar wife or Sheikh, whatever you are looking, I can arrange that as well. So I've got the powerful 3 letters.
Look what you're doing, Saajid. Pay attention to what you're doing. How long you want to keep this up? Our request is simple. If you're going to respond to the Islamic Dilemma, how about, I don't know, responding to the Islamic Dilemma? Because right now you're wasting our time and it's to the point where it's getting annoying. And all you're doing is deceiving people and lying about our book and lying to your followers and lying about your book, lying about our book. You're
I don't
again
see how it helps.
again. You're in the
I don't
Muhammad
see how
hijab
it
and Ali Dawa category now. What's that, DoC?
I don't see how it helps to go to the Quran where it says it's clear and Ibn Kathir agrees it's clear. How does that help
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, what was he trying to accomplish there?
Yeah.
Hey,
Guys, the Quran is not
Allah's
clear.
Allah's right for once. It is clear. I know from a commentator.
So what did Saajid just do? Saajid just read the verse. Everybody understood except for the first three letters. Everybody understood what the verse was saying. And then his whole point was that you can't do that. His whole point was that you can't just read the Quran and come to your own understanding.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what Ibn Kathir did.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, guys, this says that the Quran is clear. So let's go to the commentary now where the commentary says the Quran is clear.
And it
So
does.
what are you trying to...
And what we did, that's what we did too. Your Quran said it confirms our Bible. I go to Ibn Kathir, it says the Quran confirms the Torah and the Gospel.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing again.
So
So how does that help anything?